Hey, this is Glendon. Title of this video, How to Make More Money. I'm a salesperson. I have products, books, webinars, audiobooks, a number of things, and I want you to buy them. I'm waiting for the lightning to strike me for saying that. It hasn't happened yet, so I guess I'm safe. Let's have an honest discussion here. Everyone on the planet is doing something for something. It may be money, it may be love, shelter, food, whatever. There's this thing in the internet marketing community that if you do something for money, you're a bad person. You really are not ethical. Now, one of the things I've learned, and I had a really good mentor who was probably one of the best mentors in my life because he had this way of taking your thoughts, pulling them out into the air, and when you saw them, they just sounded really, really stupid. So let's really reframe this conversation because I see it all over the place. It's like these people are trying to sell a product. They're just trying to pitch me something. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. They have a product. You don't want it. Beginning and end of it. Now, one of the things I teach, shameless plug, in the hustler mindset, if you want something, number one thing you need to know is what is it that you want exactly. Not kind of, sort of. You can't say I want to make a lot of money. Doesn't work. I want to make $200,000 a year. More accurate, works. Then you have to fill in the spaces of what you're going to do, what you're going to offer the world to make that $200,000 a year. Now, the second part is to actually think that you can pull it off. Many people do stuff like this. Well, I put a blog up, but I don't think anyone's going to read it. Well, I made these cookies, but they may not be that good. I hear people say this bullshit all of the time. And it's really no use for that. It really actually sucks gas out of your tank. So, number one, you must know what you want exactly. Number two, you must actually think that you can get it. You have the talents, the skills, whatever, to pull it off. Number three, action. You got to do something. You have to do it. You must try. I have more respect for the guy that goes for the long bomb and misses or gets an interception because at least they tried. They were trying to go big because when you go big and fail, you learn more than when you go small and don't lose that much. So that's the deal. So you really have to do that. Now, number four, consistency. Now, the thing is, and I've seen this, and there's a ton of great content online. There's a ton of great content. There is many wonderful people on YouTube who are offering insights, techniques, tips, all kinds of great information that can help you make money. Now, this is the core of the issue, and this is where, going back to my mentor, one of those things that comes out that when you reframe it, it sounds stupid. I have people mad at me because I have information that I want to be paid for that they want, but they don't want to pay for so they can make money. So let's really say that again. So I have information that people want, but they don't want to pay money for it, or they don't want to pay what I'm charging for it, but they're mad at me because I'm not offering it for free or at a cheaper price. That's called entitlement mentality. I have a MacBook Pro that cost me $3,000. I didn't go to Apple begging, hey, could you bring down the price? You know what I did? I'm going to tell you exactly how I got it because just like you, I thought the MacBook Pro was really expensive. So I went on Craigslist. And I bought a used one at a deal. Then I flipped it. Then I bought another one at a deal. Then I flipped it. Then I bought another one at a deal. Then I flipped it into the one that I wanted. Yes, it cost $3,000, but I didn't really pay $3,000 for it because I took action. Roughly, it cost me about $1,800 because of the margin that I got from the sales. Did you catch the gist of that story? Did you get it? Let's go back to my mentor. If you're mad at a person who has information or a car or something or whatever, and they will not give it to you on your terms, you are a loser. Yes, because we're all salespeople. Every last one of us are salespeople. And some people don't like that word because it's like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I don't like sales. When you got that job, you had to sell yourself to that person that was interviewing you. When you got married, you had to sell yourself to your wife. When you wanted to be a member of the church board as a deacon, you had to sell yourself to the other board members. Now, because there was no monetary gain during the transaction, does not mean it was not a sale. Because it's like, well, money wasn't involved. It was a sale. It was a sale. Everything we do, and people are like, no. This is just because you refuse to accept the world the way that it is doesn't mean that everyone's like that. It is a transaction. It may be an emotional transaction. It may be, you may gain goods and services and no cash may ever change hands. It could be the currency could be pride. The currency could be love. It is an exchange because the same thing is you must convince someone that you know or that's in your sphere of influence that you have something that is going to benefit that person. That's the deal. So I see these comments because the thing is I made this change and I'm going to tell you exactly why I made this change. There are some awesome freaking people here on YouTube. Awesome freaking people. People who watch my videos, thank you. People who are making other videos that are part of the tribe. And I realized that I spent so much time dealing with people who didn't matter because it was ridiculous. I still have many things to learn in this life. I don't know it all. At some points I'm very ignorant. And I realized, why are you spending this much time dealing with people who don't matter? Number one policy I made, and it really has reduced the number of trolls. I see all kind of crazy comments. And the old me was just like, just wanting to get in there, right? It's a waste of time. Just a waste of time. So the new thing is remove and block. Now, I've conducted some experiments, and you're going to find this very, very funny. There was a few people, I just removed their comments, and they posted another one to see what I would do within 24 hours. That person's not about trying to learn anything. That person's not about trying to gain education or share in the community. They're just bored or lonely or whatever. And I was just like, and I didn't say anything. And the person, and this is the cool thing, that person actually removed their own comment, and I didn't even have to trust it because now it's kind of like, it's not fun here anymore because he's not going to do anything. He's not going to make these crazy videos. Damn, it's not fun. I'm going to have to go somewhere else. So that's the new policy. And also the new policy is, I know that out of these 500 and something freaking videos, there's enough content and information that's here that will help you do things. Let's just cut to the chase. People watch the channel for many reasons. Some people watch it for entertainment. Most of the folks are looking for that tip, that technique, that information that's going to make their business or their life better. And there's a lot of this stuff up here for free because this is why people do stuff for free. When no one knows you, you have to do it for free. You can't say, hey, I've got this wonderful course. It's $9,000. And then people look at you like, who are you? But if Tony Robbins came on YouTube and said, look, I've got this new mastermind course. It's only open to X amount of people. The sales start now. 30 minutes or less, he's going to be sold out because he's Tony Robbins. Everyone knows who he is. There's tons and tons of history. There's a lot of benefit. So until you make a name for yourself, you have to do these things. But I've learned some other things. that when people are really at that point where they're ready to facilitate change, because that's really the big lever. It's not the information, it's not the money. When people have reached that point where they're like, you know what, I'm really sick of my life being the way it is, and they crank that lever of change, then money doesn't become an issue. Because this is the thing. If you're going to be a storage auction hound, or you're going to be a picker, or you're going to be in the resale industry, you need some money. Can you get in any of these businesses with little to no money? You can actually get into all of them free. But you're going to start here. And it's going to take you a long time to get to here, then longer to get here. If you started out with 5,000, you start right there. And it's a little easier to get there. So this whole thing about, not wanting to put some skin in the game, or as Castle and Attic says, buy your education. In one way or another, where you buy my books or the other guy's books or some other course, or you don't buy any of it and you spend your own money, which is an awesome way to learn, and you just fail and learn, fail and learn, fail and learn, you are going to pay for your education. The more that you pay, the faster you're going to learn. You can't get around it. Now, there are some people that will go out and bootleg some stuff or get a cheap copy, because I was never part of the Napster movement or downloading music illegally. Any software, anything I have on my computer, I pay for it because I'm a content creator. If you go to my video, Producers versus Consumers, if you have a producer mentality, you're going to respect other producers because you know what it is like to be a producer. But if you are a consumer, you're going to think it's inherently unfair that someone has something that you want, and because you haven't raised your intellect, your income, your abilities to afford it, for some reason to you it just doesn't measure up. It's like there's something wrong. They're getting over. They're making all this money. It should be cheaper. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be cheaper. Because what I have learned, and I've spent a lot of money in 2012 on products and stuff, that sometimes you can get a great product that's very inexpensive and it works wonderful. Notice how I said sometimes. Most of the time, you're going to have to pay for something that really works. Most of the time. Not always. There's a lot of great solutions out there. Like, if you're in the resale business, Dropbox is the shit because you can save all your pictures, all your information, and it's on all your devices, even your phone. And they give you 5 gigabytes free. Then if you want a little bit more, you have to pay for it, and it's still pretty cheap. But the thing is, get accustomed to paying for things in your life. In the 48 laws of power, there's no such thing as a free lunch because you're going to pay one way or another. And many people are like, the money. Well, you may pay by not prospering in your life as well as you could for a decade. When you really think about that, that's a long time to not be going forward. So the whole thing is, I'm just doing this video to let you know I'm Glendon Cameron. I'm a salesperson. I want your money. That's me. That's who I am. I'm an entrepreneur. Now, with that, I have the understanding that I just can't say, give me your money, and I'm not going to give you something. It doesn't work that way. But the videos that are coming up, they're going to be different. They're going to be very, very different. There's going to be more rants. There's going to be more business stuff. And certain videos that are a little bit too edgy for YouTube, they're going to be behind the paywall. Certain business practices that I know that it's going to take a level of discipline, a level of tenacity, it's going behind the paywall, because what's the point in putting out all this good stuff for folks who just kind of like, well, I'm kind of interested. It's like you're at a cafeteria and there's all of these choices. There's spinach over here and there's broccoli over here. And you just like, there are all these choices where if you go to a place like Waffle House or IHOP, because if you notice, all these places have a limited budget. Menu. Limited menu. And you go to places that have all these things, and sometimes when you go there, you usually get the same thing over and over again. Barry Schwartz has this great video. It's here on YouTube. It's a TED Talk. It's called The Paradox of Choice. If you've never seen it, watch the whole thing because it's true. Because people want all these choices, but in the movie Confessions, it's kind of weird because even if you have all these choices, if you don't know what the right choice is, it's worse than having no choice because you're still paralyzed. There's numerous studies that show that when a person goes to your website, they go to a landing page, and there's all these choices, they're like, well, I don't know. At best, 3. Medium, an entry, medium, and high level. At best, 3. Because you can have 20,000 things on there. It can be very, very crazy. And this is not Amazon. Amazon's a totally different. Amazon spends massive amounts of money getting people to his website. So we're talking about you can't compare yourself to Amazon. But that's the deal. And I'm going to say this a few more. I'm a salesman. I'm Glendon Cameron. I want your money. If you got it in a bag, just, throw it at me. I'll take nickels, pennies, dimes, paper stuff that folds, all that because I'm in business. And if you're mad or if this video puts you off, now I'm not going to say what you thought I was going to say. See there, you're assuming shit that you just don't know. I'm going to say unsubscribe and move on. No foul, no harm, no blood. It's a wrap because in this life, you can't be all things to all people. And, in the course of building this new career, because that's what it is. I'm 3 years and 6 months into it. I've learned a lot of things because I came from the storage auction world, which was like, I'm gonna win, bitch. Whereas the internet world is more collaborative. It's more sharing. It's more networking. It's more social because essentially, if you are really good in the storage auction world and you've got enough money and you just build a moderate network, it doesn't have to be extensive and you have to know all these people, you can do very well. But online, it doesn't work like that. And I was just like, oh. So I had to do a 180 in my mindset. But there's a few people I will never work with because I don't believe in them and I think they are something that should be flushed. That's my opinion. I don't work. And see, that's another thing. When you start your business, you have the option to work with people that you want to or you don't want. It's your option. If you don't want to work with them, you don't have to. You have a job. You could be sitting next to somebody you just can't stand every day. And if they're your boss, it's even worse. So, that's just kind of the trade-off. But going forward, if you are coming to this channel to learn some stuff, make your life a little bit better, there'll be information here. If you're looking for the stuff that's well laid out, that's really juicy, that's really exciting, it's going to be behind the paywall. That's it. Pretty much. Because another part of that is, and I really love this, and every time I see it, I always email the person privately and I say, how many homeless shelters did you go to? And it's like, none. How many poor people did you feed? None. This whole notion of I'm going to do something for someone just out the sheer goodness of my heart. Prove it. Don't say it. Live it. I bought a stinky person lunch that was just like, but you know what? They look hungry. Yeah, there wasn't nothing in it for me. So if you are not doing that type of stuff on the regular, then you come on the channel and it's like, oh, it's this, it's you just a staunch opportunist that's trying to use a very weak leverage point to try to get what you want, and it's not going to work. Because one of the beautiful things about the internet is it's transparent and everybody learns. And I'm moving my business in a totally different direction. If you look at the channel, I took off that old banner, put up a new banner. Totally different stuff's coming this way. Some of you gonna like, some of you may hate. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it out there. And that's another part of it. You must have the courage to go forward and put your stuff out. If you're going to start a business, you must have the courage to let people that you know, I'm starting a business. It's scary stuff. It's very easy to say, I'm not ready. The time's not right. when the kids are bigger. Well, when little Johnny goes to school, all that's bullshit. Because you can do more with what you have. It means you may have to let some stuff go, like television. Or hanging out one weekend a month. It's like, hey, fellas, I'm not going to hang out this weekend. I am going to work on my business. And the thing is, if you do that, you don't have to do it forever. So that's the thing. People just like, I'm not trying to give up that cushy lifestyle, that do what I want. I'm not trying to give it up. But in closing, if you learn to give as much as you want, you're probably going to get what you want. But when all you do is want and want and want and want, and there's no giving, that's the recipe of frustration. Just saying. All right, this is Glendon, and I will see you in the next video. For those of you who care, podcast below, links below. If you got a storage auction question, resale question, just call a number. I'll put it on the show, just depending on what your question is. And that's going to be the deal. So this is Glendon, and I'll see you in the next video.